Danny, change it on the board. I'm going to think it's episode 163. Come on, unprofessional.
Wait, you got one job.
One job.
And I did it. This is a different Jay.
Jay.
Words.
He doesn't remember what number.
Maybe a different one.
No. Yeah,
That's right.
That's right.
That's
164.
right. When the kids are counting sheep, when the kids go to sleep, dreams and memories. When the kids go to sleep.
And we're back. Thanks for joining us. You know what I recently spent 4 hours wasting my life doing?
What?
I can't remember. It was the other night. I think you went to bed. I was staying up late. I watched Seinfeld. Blake and
What
Dan?
did you watch? This is the first time hearing about
Blake
this.
and
you
Danny
guys.
are being guys over there. I watched like 4 hours of Seinfeld outtakes of like them messing up, like Elaine laughing. You know who never thought it was funny
4
when they
hours?
messed up? Is Kramer. That actor, he is a serious actor. Like you think
Really?
he's like a jokey, funny guy. He did not think it was funny when they messed up a take.
Michael Richards?
Yeah, Michael Richards. He was like, he would come in. You got to go watch it on YouTube. There's one that's the one that draw me to it is like Michael Richards does not think. What is it?
Is that the one where the documentary where they show him getting ready to enter and he's like,
No, I want to see that. It wasn't even a documentary. It was some YouTube video that said Michael Richards doesn't think his characters' mess ups are funny or something like that. I'm like, what? Because it was Seinfeld, so I clicked on it and they had taken like all of the times that you could tell he was like annoyed that they had broken character and they had meshed it together. And like you can see what he's saying because there would be times where he would come in, he would enter, and you know how he did, where he would come flailing in and it was so physical and then they would just bust up laughing and it's like he had to just do it all again. It's like you can't redo that. You know, and so he would just get pissed at them. Not pissed, I might be embellishing a little bit, but I spent like 4 hours watching those videos. And you know who cracked me up the most is Elaine. What's her
funny.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus?
Yeah.
They were doing that. Blake was doing the dance. They were shooting an episode of her doing that dance and she was embarrassed to do it. Like she's like getting ready to do it. She's like, hold on. I'm too embarrassed. And she had to like take a minute and then she was like doing the dance. But it was so interesting to watch them like break character and stuff. And you even think, speaking of the Eternal Now, which we were talking about last episode, you could tell it was like, I bet you they watched that back because you could tell there was times, like even Jerry Seinfeld, like Elaine messed up, and this was in the final seasons. And she's like, okay, I got it. He's like, it's only $1,000 a second because you could tell they probably had a huge crew, and it was like at the end of the season when Seinfeld was huge. And you think they probably watch that now with a more of an eternal perspective and specifically maybe Michael Richards, I don't know, but they probably think, why did I get mad in that moment? Like, what a fun moment. Like, that's probably the greatest part of their lives is being part of Seinfeld. I don't know.
Michael Richards probably has other regrets.
Yeah. You probably wish you didn't scream the N-word at the Laugh Factory a bunch of times.
Oh, anyways, so yeah.
Oh, that happened to him.
Yeah.
Anyways, why did I get off on that tangent? I'm sorry. 4 hours of Seinfeld.
What I watched the other night when you went to sleep.
We were watching it together. Stranger Things.
We've been watching Stranger Things.
On Netflix.
It's scary.
Not
Okay,
sponsored.
listen. I'm not a scary movie type of person. And so when we started watching that, it's kind of like a E.T. vibe, but a little bit scarier. Like I would not suggest it to young kids.
No, I was thinking like maybe Gavin could watch it, but it's pretty intense.
No, I don't think I would let him watch it.
It's
scary. But you keep going to sleep.
I was tired. I fell asleep. I just dozed off a little bit. And Colette's like terrified while we're watching this. And she's like, are you asleep? Wake up, wake up.
I'm the type of person,
like,
if I'm tired and I start a movie, I wake up and to watch the movie.
I don't know.
Like my body is just like in it.
It's good. Are you watching Stranger Things on Netflix? We usually don't watch the shows. Like usually there's shows that come out. We did watch Breaking Bad together. Mm-hmm. Not all of it.
Yeah, we did.
Did we watch? Yeah, we did. Yeah, that's true.
We had to finish it.
We watched the whole. That's one thing that we watch. I have never seen one episode of Game of Thrones.
That's why I don't start shows because I can't not finish them. and then I waste so much time.
It's so interesting that Netflix, the way that they create content now is in seasons. They don't release an episode at a time. Like people realize that people on the executives at Netflix realize people want to binge watch. So they don't just be like, here's an episode. It's
they'll
like, here's
release the whole
an entire season. You can watch it in one night. Okay, so we do have some questions. We are reading your tweets on the Twitter. Tweet us at WTKGTS. That stands for When the Kids Go to Sleep. They're sawing logs right now, I'll tell you. How do you, Christy Nicole asks, how do you feel about the kids going back to school and about Gavin going to middle school? He's been in middle school, but now Avia's in middle school. I am not happy about the kids going back to school. I have for a long time been against homeschooling, but am feeling more and more like an advocate of homeschooling. I just don't want my kids out there in that big bad world. Am I sheltering them? Oh, can you tell I'm a little flustered?
Yeah, well, I mean, you just got to think, I don't know. I don't know what the right answer is.
Those little bastards at school are going to put stuff in my kids' minds that I don't want there.
Well, that's the thing is you can't shelter them because they have to go and experience life. But could they learn, I don't know, differently at home? I don't think that I would be a great teacher. That's why I don't homeschool. But I'm not against homeschooling. I think homeschool is really great for a lot of people.
The only thing I remember as a kid knowing kids who were homeschooled and just you could always tell that they were just off a bit, right? Like they just never fit in as well.
Well, I don't entirely agree with that because I also have friends that were homeschooled and they were
fine. I guess maybe it was just that specific to my experience. You know, and that's only 3 or 4 kids.
Well, that's the thing is that every experience is different. Every home is different. Every home teaches differently. So, I mean, because I've heard of like extreme situations where parents that is their goal is to like take them out of society and shelter them. So that I feel like in that case they can come out a little bit socially awkward. But if their purpose is like, you know, I have friends that are like, I want to homeschool so that they're only in school for this amount of time and then we can do more music classes and we can go to this park and like explore the national forest of this thing or whatever. And so
I guess what I have shifted from is this idea that society or the government or this system should educate our children when the parents should educate the children, you know? So just this idea of like, let's bus our kids off for 8 hours a day. You know, I don't know. Like I wish we had more. I just don't like them going to school. I want them to hear. I want to be, but you know, I guess you just can't do that.
I guess my problem is like, okay, if I were to homeschool and they need to learn these certain subjects to be able to go to college or whatever, then I don't feel really adequate to teach.
I don't say I'm not going to teach my kids algebra. I say I am going to, with my kids, search online for the best algebra tutor, and then we're going to go find that person together and like learn algebra together. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, we send our kids to school to learn all these, like, why did school start? Like, let's back up. Let's like, why did this all begin, right? Why did they say we need to start educating all these children and it's required? Like, I hate that. I hate the feeling that's like, we're in this system, like the system that owns us. Like if we don't send our kids to jail, if we don't send our kids to school, we could go to jail. Like, that's a real letter that you get from the school system where it's like your kids missed this amount of days. You could go to jail. It's like, no, like I'm up here teaching my kids how to build a rocket. What do you mean?
But they're just trying
wasting
to protect,
their time.
Because there are kids that parents will utilize for babysitters. Like, oh, I got to go to work, so my kid's got to stay home. And in that case, like, they're looking out for the best interests of the child, obviously.
Yeah, so that's the scary thing is like, why did it become a thing? Maybe it's because there's a lot of bad parents that weren't educating their kids. And it's like, well, our species is going to suffer if we got a bunch of just like kid servants out there.
Yeah, well, and I don't know. I get really mixed because I feel like, yes, they're learning certain things at school that I couldn't teach them. Not only, you know, the subjects, but like social interactions, like all of that type of stuff that is good for them to be around other people. And I also like by the end of the summer they are at each other and they are so sick of being together that I'm like, okay,
I don't think that's
okay. Well, yeah, I saw it.
They get mad, like brothers and sisters fight, but it's not like, anyways. Captain Fantastic. Why did that movie not come out in theaters?
Is it out?
I did. I think it had a limited release, and like this.
But is it
that
out like
movie,
anywhere else we can watch it?
I think it is. I'm looking at play trailer on YouTube. This movie talks about all this, like what we're talking about right now, like just this system that we're in as Americans, where it's like the kids go to school and they have soccer practice, and it's like they're all doing the same thing, and it's like we don't question that system. Like, why did we start that system? Why is that the way that it is? You know, like this No Child Left Behind. Why do we test our kids still, even though that everybody's saying that it's a bad way? You know what I'm saying? Like, why are we allowing this to perpetuate?
Well, there are different educational systems. Like if you do private schools, like there's different curriculum. And so there are options out there if you don't love the government regulated system.
Oh, so starting will be in cinemas September 9th, it's saying here.
Good. I want to see it.
Okay.
But I feel like it's something too that like you can utilize the system, but don't depend on it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like it can be two extremes. Like some parents will just totally rely on the school to teach their kids everything and then blame society for their kids screwing up. But like there has to be a balance. Like there are obviously things that my kids are learning at home that they could not learn at school. And so like I feel like I'm utilizing the system to help.
I think that's a good way to look at it. And I think that's what I'm trying to say, is that parents should take more responsibility for the education of their children. Right. You know, and just be a part of it, you know, ask them things. But anyways, so we're not trying to preach or anything like that. I do miss our kids though. Like I get nervous. I get nervous about bullies. Like even just dropping them off today, I'm just like eyeing kids. Like
he's a mama bear.
Dude, my mom was like that, and I'm just like
he is like that too. But it's healthy in a way. Like maybe you need to learn. Like you do need to allow them that time to like.
So those spy cams I put in the kids' backpacks. Is that healthy?
Yeah,
I
about
see
that.
Everything.
So you're telling me the spy cams? I should
all of a sudden,
like
like
turn them off.
I'm like at like behind one of the pine trees at the school, like, hey, little Johnny, I saw what you did to my son at recess.
There's a viral video. Shay Carl beats kid at school.
Lurking behind a tree.
Local YouTube celebrity Shay Carl beat up a 6th grader today.
It's that like throwing a ball.
Oh yeah, like Emmy in the air. Yeah, it's a new James Blunt CD. It's a bully.
It's a bully.
Like way scared.
Dude, that's a cool name for a punk rock album. Throwing bullies.
Throwing bullies.
That's the
I like
name
that.
of our album for a punk rock.
Don't steal it. We're gonna start a punk rock band.
Punk rock.
Anyways, do we have more questions?
Yeah, we have lots more. This is a good question from Rosalie, who says, do you honestly think that you will have another kid in the near future? Well, who knows, Rosalie?
I don't know.
Colette's running the show on that.
I'm in charge, and I don't want a baby right now. Ding. Okay.
I don't know if I do either, but I don't want to be like, I don't want one, because then I think that'll be offending to you.
Do you not want one?
I didn't say that.
Well, say it.
I didn't say that.
Do you want to say something right now?
I don't know, man. I think it might be cool to have another one, but it's like, another one?
I think Shay and I were just so like, yeah, why not? Let's do it. But
I just feel like we get bored sometimes. We're like, what should we do?
let's have a baby.
Let's make another human
That's
person.
not boring. That'll keep us busy.
Let's commit another 18 years of our life to making sure that this person doesn't freak out and kill other people. Is that
Wait, that's what we're
Is that what your
making sure?
job is as a
I
parent?
thought we were kind of clear on that one. Now let's maybe help them succeed a little bit past that. Not just don't hurt other people, but maybe.
Okay, we're reading your tweets, Colette. Quit making fun of me. Read some tweets. Question. You both seem so patient with your kids. Were you like that before kids? Or did you become that way after editing out all the parts when you slapped them? Great question. No.
I'm like, really?
ARJ rules.
Shay.
Jules,
not
ARJ
funny.
rules. Hey, Jules. I need to DM you back, by the way. Patience. Listen, I think people with the most children have the least amount of patience. Because
No.
God's like, you need patience. Here's a kid.
I mean, I would not
not
agree with
necessarily
that.
true.
My brother and sister-in-law are the most patient people in the world.
Because they have 10 kids.
Well, yeah.
I'm just kidding. You learn
I mean, you
patience
have
by
to.
having kids. Yeah.
You
like
do. I think I was less patient with the first. Like with each child, you gain
You
that
do.
like, okay,
Yep.
everything's okay.
Like, have you noticed, like, your parents,
Why
like,
am I
if you
doing
get
this?
older, like, I've noticed adults
Like
in
kid
my
after
life
kid.
that I used to think were, like, kind of, like, hard A, they, like, get softer.
Yes.
They're just like, it's okay.
Like as they're older.
Yeah. They become more Santa Claus-like.
I think that's true.
What are you giggling about back there?
Just laughing at myself.
You know, and that happens, like you said, with every kid. It's like you do, like with Daxton, we're way more forgiving than we
Yeah.
were with the other ones, because you're just like, I think you have this anxiety as a parent when you have the first kid of like, I need to be a good parent.
Yeah.
They're not doing what I think they should be doing.
You
That
kind
would
of
make sure I'm a good parent. So I need to
Right.
like make sure they're doing the thing that would make me a good parent.
because you're a new parent, so you kind of gain your value as a parent by the things your child does.
Right.
And so maybe you're more embarrassed on the playground if your kid hits another kid. Like instead of being like, okay, let's address the situation. What happened? It's you're like, don't do that. Like you freak out a little bit, and we're definitely not as much that way anymore.
I don't think I'm too terribly patient, actually. You know, I definitely can be impatient with the kids. One thing, though, that I try to do anytime I feel like I'm impatient with them is to show an increase of love, is to just, you know, because I think a lot of parents do that where it's like they get impatient or they get angry and then they forget to like also show them softness. You know?
Yeah.
Come here.
They need that balance.
Yeah.
But I also think that like we kind of sometimes we feed off each other. Like I noticed yesterday, I got really impatient with Brock fast because he was overreacting about some things, and I was just like, blah, 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 stop it. And Shay came out and he sat Brock down and he talked to him. In my mind, I'm like, oh, he's such a good dad. Because like he had that patience in the moment. Like I feel like
But it's
We
only
have
because
different
like
times
I had
where-
been editing for 2 hours and like hadn't been dealing with the kids, you know, so like
Yeah.
I have a better perspective where it's like, it's okay, Brock. But you know, like if you're around the kid and they're just being whiny for the last 3 hours, you're like, shut up, stop it.
it's all about perspective.
And you
gotta-
lose your patience, you know?
Yeah.
So you have to have that perspective. You have to be able to, you know, think like, oh, I love this little small person who is so selfish and only wants what they want. But I love them.
It's just a learning process. You got to realize that we're like the parent is in as much of a learning process as the child. Like it's okay. Be forgiving of both.
Yeah.
Be forgiving of yourself
25.
and your parenting
Daxton,
or lack thereof.
who is more patient, mom or dad?
Mom.
Yeah, I figured. Definitely way more patient. than dad.
What does patient mean?
Do you know how to be patient? Yeah, he does. Totally, guys. Trust me. He's way patient.
He's so cute.
Anyways, okay, let's answer one more question, then we're out of here. Then we got to go. Then we got to go. Great questions. It's all a journey. We're not perfect. Nobody is. We're all learning. It's all a process. Let's all be kind and patient and slow with each other.
I did see one.
What'd you see?
Should we answer from Stephanie? She's asked, sorry, I have two personal, but why'd you decide to put Brock in a school?
No, I like this
A
one
year
better. Lucife 89 says, I turned 27 today and don't have what I thought I would by now.
Oh.
What advice on falling short do you have? Listen, I feel that way too. I feel like there's times where I'm like, man, I feel like I could do more. You know, I feel like, have I done everything that I supposed to have done? And that's not a good line of thinking.
I'll tell you what.
And here's real quick. Why do you think expectations set you up for failure? What did you expect to have by 27 is my question. And why do you think that you expected to have that? Is it because somebody else did, like your brothers or sisters or a cousin or your mom and dad? Like, well, when I was 27, I had a job and was graduated and had one kid. And so you think because other people have like hit these certain life milestones by a certain age that you are also therefore required to hit those same milestones at a certain age, when that's the point of just the eternal now, of just being a human being. It doesn't matter. Do not compare yourself to other people. There is only frustration and anguish in comparison. What were you going to say? I just want to say that real quick.
That's That's what I was going to say is like when we went to that Tony Robbins event, that's one thing that he helped people realize is like you're setting yourself up for failure by having expectations for yourself like that. You know, like if you think I have to have this by this certain time in my life or I'm a failure, then you're already a failure. Like you need to realize that everything you need and should ever need or want, you have right now. Like don't expect to like, oh, I have to get to here at this certain time in my life or I'm not valuable. You know?
What we're trying to say is don't worry about the things that you haven't accomplished, but hurry and get some stuff accomplished.
No, don't do that.
You know what I'm saying?
Sit back.
What have you done with your life? You're 27. Come on. Get your act together.
I'll punch him in the face for you. No, but you should look at your life right now and love every second of it. And then look at what you want to do with your life and what you want to create and take steps to do that. And don't worry about where the destination will be because it's the journey that matters. That's my advice.
But seriously, like, are you going to try even?
Because you never know where life will take you. Like I definitely, when I was 27 or right now in my life, never thought I would be where I am. But I am so grateful that I am. You're not even listening. You're over here doing your little magic trick.
Listen, what you're saying is great wisdom, but it's stressful to me because it's like you have to just chill and not worry about it. But then it's like you got to get stuff done too.
No, I disagree.
So that's where we're at. You better join us next time so we can figure this out.
The stuff that you get done is the things that you want to do. Like look at your life and be like, what do I want to create with my life? And go and create it.
There you go.
Like that's the real joy of life.
But they're scared.
You don't need to think
their mom and dad don't want them to do that.
My mom doesn't want me to do that.
And their mom has been planning them for them to do this.
But I'm not going to make enough money if I do that.
And that's not what they're supposed to do.
That's what I really want to do.
But that's not what their brother thought they were going to do. That's not what their husband or wife thought they were going to do.
No. Crap, what are you going to do?
So what are you going to do? Do you get it now? Are we starting to make sense?
But listen up. If you do what drives you and what makes you light up, it'll make the world light up. That's so wise. You should totally put it on a bumper sticker. I'm so smart, you guys.
But wait, I heard recently that you're not supposed to do what makes you light up. You're just supposed to do what you're good at. And then if you're good at it, wait, what was it? Don't chase your passion, be your passion. That's what it was.
What?
It's getting cliched out here, man. It's getting cliched. Listen, it's a journey.
What is this?
It's a ball. It's a journey, and we're trying to figure it out, and you're trying to figure it out, and that's what we're doing here. We're sitting, talking, trying to figure it out together, and it's a tale as old as time. You know what people have been doing? They've been sitting around trying to figure it out. We don't know. You don't know. Everybody thinks they know. It's all about peace, or it's all about this. I don't know, but let's just try to figure it out. Let's talk about it. Let's have an open environment where we can all just chat. Friendly.
But really, you should put it on a bumper sticker.
Put it on. Okay, we should wrap it up. I want to have like one final thing that says like we know what we're talking about, but I just said we don't know what we're talking about. Dang it.
We don't have to.
We could just cut it in later. Okay, should we just wrap it now? We're just gonna wrap it. Okay, listen, we're trying here. Wrap it up. Put your finger in the air like that. No, finger, straight up. We're wrapping it up. Thanks for joining us on WTKGT. What do we call it? Danny's dancing like a cowboy in the background.
He's wrapping it up.
Join us next time. Download the podcast on iTunes for your benefit and ours.
We'll stay up, just you and I, and we'll talk about our pretty life when the kids go to sleep.